By Kevin McGranSports ReporterSun, May 6, 2018. Brian Burke is back in the spotlight. The outspoken former general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs left his most recent hockey job, president of hockey operations with the Calgary Flames, and joined Sportsnet as an analyst. It's a temporary gig, 2 rounds of the NHL playoffs. But it's a post-executive role he seems meant for. Burke dabbled in TV 14 years ago with CBC and TSN, after his time as GM of the Vancouver Canucks, and his opinions have been widely sought. He's insightful, humorous and succinct. Burke won the Stanley Cup in 2007 as GM of the Anaheim Ducks. He got his first GM's job with the Hartford Whalers and also spent time with the NHL's head office in New York. In 2012, Burke and his son Patrick launched the You Can Play project in honor of son Brendan, who died in a car crash. You Can Play aims to end homophobia in sports. Burke remained based in Toronto even after being fired by the Maple Leafs in January 2013. The Star's Kevin McGran chatted with Burke about his new job, his old ones and what's next. Why did you leave the Calgary Flames? When I first went to Calgary, in 2013, team president Ken King and I had discussed giving it a run for 4 or 5 years and take a look at it. We met every summer. Is it working for us? Is it working for you? Is it working for the Flames? Said yes. This year, I told them when we extended GM Brad Treliving that at some point I would become redundant. They felt with Don Maloney coming on board as assistant GM, it was probably sooner rather than later. First off, Tree is ready to do this without me. And secondly, I'm thoroughly sick of the commute. I loved every day in Calgary. It's the best city I lived in my whole pro career. People were wonderful, but it's time to do something else. I did broadcasting for a year. You like to be in the mix and be heard. Is this what you're experimenting with to see how it goes? I'm not going to rule anything out. I taught at law school for 10 years when I was in Vancouver. I love teaching. At some point when my youngest daughter goes to university, I would love to work abroad for a year, Germany, Switzerland. I always wanted to work for a team over there. I don't know what's next after 3 or 4 weeks with Sportsnet. Hopefully more work with Sportsnet. I enjoy it. I feel a little rusty. It's been 14 years since I did it. Already people are saying you could be the next Don Cherry. Don Cherry is very much active in the role. Second, I have a 3-week contract. It would be pretty presumptuous for me to talk about a different and bigger role. And Don's a friend. He can keep that job until he wants someone else to do it. Would you ever want to be a general manager again? I don't think so. Daughters are here in Toronto. I don't want to commute anymore. I would never say never. Some owners I really like would have to think hard about, but I don't think so. Either do consulting, or pro scouting like I did when I got let go here, in Toronto. But my first goal would be to make a second career in broadcasting. What do you like about broadcasting? I don't get fined when I say my opinion. For 30 years I've been threatened with fines whenever I say what I want to say. The other night, I was talking about officiating. I thought there was a soft call, and I said that. No one fined me. I gave my views on the draft lottery. No one fined me. I have strong views on things, and I think I can articulate them well. People like the plain speaking style. If they don't, too bad. A lot of ex-players, when they join media, find it a little difficult to be critical of teammates or friends. You don't strike me as a guy who pulls a punch. I've always said what's on my mind. That's not going to change. When you look back at your career as an executive, what are you most proud of? The Stanley Cup. That's Mount Everest for us. Everyone who's ever won it is going to start with that. For me, the platform this job has given me has allowed me to do all the charity stuff I do. If I was still practicing law, I wouldn't be able to do a quarter of the stuff I do. This has given me a profile and a platform to make a difference everywhere I worked. I've made a difference in every city I've lived in Canada. Every single one. Then, my kids have been able to enjoy so much of this 30 years, going to playoff games, traveling with me. Sports action and reaction delivered to your inbox. New NEWSLETTERSPORTSSIGN up.